Hey, good afternoon, everybody. You got Will here today. No pre-submitted questions. So as always, you can use the QA, chat, or just use raise hand and I will unmute you and we can ask your question, whichever works best for you. No questions or pre-submitted questions today. So if you got something, do let me know. No, I'm not speaking. Can you hear me well?
Yep, your audio's good.
Yeah, I'm not speaking. Just no questions or anything from anyone there in the list. I'm just helping with some support ticket stuff while we wait to see if there's any questions. I knew it was going to be a slow day, considering that it's MLK Day. Does anyone know if the Bills and Steelers game is going to actually play? Postponed. We'll go ahead. After volunteers shoveled snow overnight for $20 an hour. How can you be a volunteer and get paid $20 an hour? That doesn't make sense. Is there a simple way to convert a list of data pairs to a defined data structure? Ooh, I don't think so. Let me let you talk, Jeremy. Like to map it?
Correct. Like I'm pulling data from another system, but the way that it writes the data, like each of what I would attribute to columns in a in a database, they're
Mm-hmm.
writing each of those as a separate record in the table because
Mm-hmm.
of how it's structured. So I need to take that list of 20 items and then convert that into my data structure.
Don't know. Let's see here.
And I have a workaround that with that I can do. I just didn't know if there was a better way that could more easily just convert because I am processing that data into data pairs, so I get the field name plus the value paired together.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to somehow get either if I maybe data pairs isn't the way to go, but just to get the information converted.
You could try this. I'm not actually familiar with this step exactly. So data pairs, destination names, I think are property names, source names. We could see if we could get this to work. I think chaining these two steps together might work. Cast a data pair list to an object and then cast an object to a type. This might work. I can't easily create a list of data pairs, but I could get data pairs for type. So get data pair for JSON object properties to data pairs. So let me go and create a flow structure. This would be DP test one, str1, str2, str3. And let's create a different one. This will be DP test two. And this will be, I don't know, ATR1, ATR2, ATR3. Okay. And let's go to our flow. And let's add our type here. Flow data structures is, we'll use this one, call this input object. Okay, and we'll pass input object into here. Right, and we'll go, let's go create input object. And here we'll just make it str1 value. We'll save this as a unit test. Save, and we'll run, it'll blow up, that's all right. Let's just make sure that comes in. And output looks like a list of outputs. Does it? Let's see. All right, and the data pair to object. So the list of data pairs is going to come from our data pair. Now the destination names, I think I can do ATR1, ATR2, ATR3. Does the order matter here? Oof, I don't know how this works. I'm probably gonna get lost here really quick now that I'm starting to fill these properties out. And then the target is, what is the target? Data pair to object. Okay, I'm gonna need to declare an object. Toolbox filter data pair steps. We probably shouldn't expose this to you. Source names, destination names, target. I don't know what target would be. What if I just leave it empty? And then, does this output anything? Doesn't output anything. That sounds wrong. Okay, then I'll do, can I get cast, can I do type to object? Data pair to object. Get object of type. Set property on object. Export single object, download object, delete object. Create object data pair. Cast object to type. Get type name, get objects of type. There's a lot of, I'll just pass in, I'll just create the ATR object here and pass it in, I think. This is definitely not the most helpful example of all time as I bumble my way through this. So I'm gonna use DP test 2. This is, I'll call this thing second object. Second object. Okay, there's second objects. Now I have an object. So now I have an object, so I can find DP test 2. And the source object is going to be second object because this doesn't output anything. And then if it matches, I can pass it here. Output. Then I should be able to map it in. Select from flow. DP test 2 results is the output of this source object. Output DP test 2, okay. Okay. If I run this, doesn't like the cast. So data pairs come in, source names, output is null, probably. Source object is null. Just true, it is null. What is the approach you're taking to do this now, Jeremy?
I created a converter flow that is. I put it all like when I create the structure, I just have on each of the fields a converter flow that takes in the list of data pairs.
Mm-hmm.
I also have an input of what name of that data pair I'm looking for. So then it just, and the output spits out the correct value of the correct data pair.
Got it. So this looks like it works. This is terribly weird. But so I can get it to cast the data. So like I declare the object I want to map to, right? This is my output type. I gave it some values just so it wasn't null, but these get thrown away. And then this is actually, you wouldn't use this. This is me just turning my input into a data pairs list so I have them. So this is like not relevant. But then I use data pair to object. I pass in my data pair list. And maybe the order here matters. I bet the order here does matter if I move these things, if I move the order around. So that might be a problem. I list the properties of the thing I want to map to. I list the properties, and this is actually probably not source names. This is probably select from flow, all name. I bet this still works the same. And then I pass in the object I'm casting to. Then I try to convert that object, which I pass in here, back to a type. DP test 2, and this is me just testing to make sure I can actually map it correctly. If I run that again, you can see now that here's the DP test 2 object of, right, with ATR 1, 2, 3 values that has taken in the values from the input object. Basically leveraging this data pair step. So I bet if I bet if I move this around, I bet I can get them to go out of order, which probably is not ideal. So yeah, so you'd have to make sure they're in the right order now that their order is out of sync. But maybe this could be a bit easier. I don't know. I'm not sure how burdensome it is, the approach you have right now. This is definitely a bit wonky. This step doesn't matter for your example. This step doesn't matter. And you might honestly be able to just set constant here. Yeah, so really realistically, you'd be looking at like a subflow that really uses these two steps and might need to declare the output object. You know, data pair list comes in and your object that you want comes out. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense.
I think so. I'm not, maybe I took, when you on your data pair to object, you're able to select the names. I'm not seeing that, or maybe, I don't know what I don't have an all names, if I'm looking in the right thing.
For your data pair list?
Oh, because you're pulling that from the converting the properties to data pairs. That's where you're pulling that from.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you've got like a data pair array that's coming in.
Okay.
And then if that's true, then you get the all name.
Okay, I see. I was looking at the wrong
thing. Or all output value.
Okay, I was looking at the wrong spot. Okay, that makes sense. I'll have to play with it. Mine isn't casting properly. It's not having it come out.
I have a bunch of training and documentation people on the call. This sounds like a wonderful forum post.
Yeah, because in theory, it sounded simple to have data pairs that can be converted into a structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here we could clean this up a bit. We'll define our output object, which is here. This would be, output object. And output objection, there you go. Okay, DP test 2. We can map it in. So I'll select this from DP2 test result, right? Yeah. And then if I wanted to, I'm gonna create a subflow here, move some of this stuff out. So this would be, cast DP to, data pair list to, I'll just put DP test 2. Okay, and then I can create a flow. And in this flow, I can use that flow inside of it. So here's current folder, cast data pair. Now let me edit this. And what I'm going to do is get rid of this step. Let's see how much we can simplify this. And so now this is going to be my input data pair list. This will become data pair array. Okay. And then data pair array, I'll pass into here. There's input data pair list. And then this will be input data pair list all name. Okay. And I'll throw an exception here. No match found for cast2 object. All right, and then let me save this and come back. And now input data pair list, I'll just do that here, which is cast object or cast data pair. No. I want search for pair. So get data pair, what do I want? Object properties to data pair. Okay. And then again, I'm just trying to get this into a subflow to try to make it more clear what's happening here. So this is input object. Input object is going to be DP test 1. And this is all the stuff that you're doing in your main flow. And then I can just pass in my data pairs here. Okay. Boom. Now if I run this, I think I should get so this is str1 value 1 2 2 3 3. Save it as a unit test. Test 1, save, run, boom. And there goes my output value. So now I've got a subflow with just 3 steps that I can use here. Data pair list comes in, object comes out. You'd have to do it for each type of object, right? And now can I get rid of, do I need to define second object? I probably do. Yeah, and then define second object. These values don't matter. I wonder if I can even keep these as ignore. I probably can. Debug, run. Yeah. And there you go. That way you could take that pattern and you could use that for any type you need to do a mapping from data pairs to the object properties itself.
Okay.
And I think that is what you're asking for.
Yeah.
The only kind of silliness is needing to define the object here, but
Yeah,
that's
it's also
not really not a big
finding,
deal.
because in my object, I have a date field, so it was failing on that. too,
Hmm.
so we'll have to see about that.
Well, we should be able to, let's see, let's go edit our type. DT1 is date time. Or this, I'm just name, yeah, DT1, whatever. And then I'll edit this and I'll name this DT2, date time. It should do the cast for us, I think, automatically. I think.
It was failing on the data pair to object step is where it was failing.
Oh, really?
Because I was storing the data pair as a string pair, so it was not able to convert the string to date.
Their date comes out, okay, it didn't map the date, but that's because, actually what you could do here is I'd actually move destination names to the input of this. So I'd create destination name array, and it would be string list. What I would then do is tag here, and I would take these and select value to destination name array, come up one level, and I would do that on the input to the subflow here, boom, and do DT2, and then debug. And if I run that, ooh, doesn't like that. What happened? Ooh, okay. Object of type system date time cannot be converted to type system string. Did I not set it to date time? Let me make sure I set both those to
It's the
date
same
time.
error I was getting,
That's
where
the
the
date
structure
time.
has date time, but the data pair is stored as string, I assume, and it's not converting it from a string to a date.
Because it's a list of string for source names, destination names. Okay, maybe not then. Yeah, because then you're left trying to like convert from a string to a date time or vice versa as you're doing it.
I don't see a option for a date data pair.
No, there wouldn't be. Yeah, I don't know how to handle that actually. So this approach only works for simple strings. Yeah, okay, I don't know then. I guess whatever you're doing now,
Yeah,
probably.
I have a way to make it work. I just wondered if there was a better way.
I don't, sounds like there isn't.
Okay.
Given our exploration here. All right. Jeremy, you're the only one in here. Any other questions I can not give you answers to today?
Not currently
Okay.
battling with so far.
All righty. All right. Well, thank you, sir. We will be back same time tomorrow, hopefully with a
Thank
bigger
you.
crowd. You bet. All right. Thanks, everyone. See ya.